Hey there, everyone. It's the author, and you're joining me for another edition of the Fast 15. As we normally do about this time, we take no more than about 15 minutes to pause, check up, check in, enjoy a note from any of the books or the audio books, provide a couple of announcements and updates, and get you going on your day. As you know, when life is happening or life is lifing, you might not be able to wait until the night or the next day for time to pause and reboot. So hopefully this allows you time to kind of pause and refresh and get a reset as it does for me. So make sure to stay connected with me and what have you. Make sure to like, share, repost, all that type of thing, because whether you're watching it immediately or watching it down the road, hopefully there's some things that we're talking about that will just help and like I said, just provide a little bit of a calm and a little bit of a reset. So before we get into our book and our topic for the day, always take a moment or two to just pause and check in. For those people who are going through some challenging times, it could be physical or mental health, could be finances, it could be family related, just trying to manage stress, things along those lines. Um, there are people that care. Don't think that everybody doesn't. Now, of course, there's some people that don't, but there are people that do. So I just ask that you take the time you need just to kind of, for lack of a term, sit down somewhere and kind of reset. And if what you're dealing with requires professional help and you have access to professional help, please make sure to get it. If it means you just have to change your routine a little bit or things along those lines, identify the positive things that you can do that will help you get through what you're going through. So again, just a word of encouragement for those who are going through a rough time. For those of us or those who are going through positive times, definitely, hey, congratulations. You know what you had to work through in order to get there. So definitely take a moment to pause, celebrate a little bit. Don't overdo it, but celebrate a little bit, reflect, feed off the positive energy, and use that as the launch point for what's next. So those are a couple of things, just a couple of things that just to think of before we tap into any topics or this or that. We know that when people are watching, they might be coming with a whole bunch of emotions and energies, positive and far from it. So hopefully this is kind of a landing space and place for people. So for today, we're going to pull a quote from Quotes and Notes. Definitely make sure to order it online as well as check it out at some of your favorite bookstores and things along those lines. And I think in light of another wave of recent events, this is something that can probably fit. So here it goes. You can't be paranoid. Otherwise, you won't leave your front door, let alone your room. But you can't be foolish either. So again, you can't be paranoid. Otherwise, you won't leave your front door, let alone leave your room. But you can't be foolish either. Now, there's a lot to unpackage in that little quote, and I think the goal is just to find that lane between being carefree but being with caution. So, for example, it doesn't mean that you can't necessarily go out somewhere, but maybe you have to go out with a friend or maybe go out during a different time of day. It doesn't mean that you can't, let's say, attempt to cook something, but if you have not cooked before, you probably want somebody in the kitchen there with you. In recent news cycle, we've seen unfortunate things happen. One of the things that comes to mind is Trey Reed, and that is just a sad story, as well as a story of the other gentleman in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and who knows other things that are not reported. Um, you do have to have an air of caution, and especially with the way of the political landscape, yeah, you do have to take some different precautions. You do. But you can't be so afraid not to do some of the things you're used to. We just have to do them differently. I think that's the biggest thing. Whether they say the only constant thing is change, there's a lot of things that have changed in recent months, and we'll dive into those another day. But I think the simple message is, just be aware. Uh, just be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of where you go, when you're driving around, be aware of where you stop. Like those types of fundamental things are probably going to be even more important. So it doesn't mean that you can't go anywhere. And it doesn't mean you can't do something, to go out to eat or those types of things. But you just want to be aware of things as best as possible. And that's all. So just be as aware as best as possible. So again, you can't be so paranoid to where you won't leave your home, but you can't be so carefree or careless to not be aware of some things that are out there. And that's probably the simple message for today. And that's from Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. So hopefully that quote and that message resonate with people, and what have you. So a couple of quick announcements. First off, many thanks to the Carolinas International Book Fair up in Greenville, South Carolina. It was a great experience being a participating author there. A wonderful, leadership team. Good meeting fellow authors, fellow readers, and more. Looking forward to seeing this grow. So thank you to the Carolinas International Book Fair. Shouts to Cozy Reads, which is a great mobile bookstore based in the upstate. So they are carrying a couple signed copies of my books. So make sure to check out Cozy Reads. Not only to support me, but support them and support other authors. Upcoming events, October the 18th. From 12 to 3 p.m., join me at Nubian Bookstore in Morrow, Georgia. We're fortunate to have basically been able to do a book signing there each year. So shouts to Marcus, shouts to everybody there. So again, October 18th, 12 to 3 p.m., Nubian Bookstore in Morrow, Georgia. October 23rd at the Winder Public Library. Make sure to check me out as part of the Inspire Author series. That is the roundtable talk, which features different authors talking about our books, all those, and writing on all those types of things. So if you're in Barrow County, Athens, Clark County, and other areas, interlocking, make sure to come out. Yeah, even Gwinnett, you can make the road trip out to Winder. So the Winder Public Library, October 23rd. Should be at 5 o'clock, and that will be as part of the Inspire Author series. Those are some of the main things that are coming up. Also, don't forget to get a copy of my new book, 8 Months of Mercy. It dropped on August 28th, right now available on your usual online platforms, but we will be rolling it out to more bookstores in the coming days, so make sure to stay connected on that. Of course, the usual shouts. Thank you to every reader, book club, bookstore, book festival, everybody that's been supporting all of the books and things of that nature. Really, really thankful, grateful, appreciative, and looking forward, doing some great things down the road. I think those are some of the main things, just to kind of touch base on for today. Again, today we pulled from Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. So if you're in the need of a good think piece and journal, this is the one you want to get. Get all of them, of course, but that's definitely the one we featured for today. And yeah, like I always say, just do what you can to maintain your perspective. It's very easy to get thrown off with all the different things that are happening. And you do need to be as aware as possible. Every once in a while, you do need to pause, unplug, reset, and I hope this provides an opportunity for you and others. So ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much about it for this edition of the Fast 15. We'll look forward to running this back next Wednesday, which should be the 24th. And again, as I always try to close out, even though I switched the order around, whether small or big, a victory is a victory, whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Keep it victorious, keep it moving. Take good care out there. I'll look forward to seeing you real soon.